talk to the man of the hour. You obtained those emails. Ian Pryor, Executive Director of Fight for Schools, and Ian Fryer, and the father of two students in the Loudoun County, Virginia school system, that basically that district has been ground zero for parents fighting against the woke culture curriculum. I remember when this first came out, and these parents, these concerned parents who have every right to be concerned with their child's education, I'm one of them, were referred to as terrorists, and it was really quite shocking. And now it turns out that you obtained those emails, and I want to know your reaction to discovering the National School Boards Association by coordinating with the White House behind all of this.
Yeah, well, actually, I think Parents Defending Education, which is another group that we certainly work closely with, was actually the ones that obtained those emails and did great work getting that story out there. Yeah. You know, I saw when this first happened, you know, it just struck me as there is no way that an Attorney General memo could come out 4 or 5 days after that NSBA memo without pre-planning. You know, I worked at the Justice Department. I know how long it takes to coordinate these kind of Attorney General memos. These are serious things. You know, the fact that the White House was involved with other members of the Department of Justice. Now, I doubt that Merrick Garland would be walking over to the White House to talk about this, but I'm sure he had counselors in his office and perhaps assistant attorney generals that were working on this ahead of time that basically triggers this NSBA memo so that by the time it comes out, the Attorney General memo is ready to roll 5 days later. And that is an appalling politicization of the Justice Department by the White House and an outside special interest group.
I mean, if you watch what's happened since the Biden administration took office, I mean, things do not happen that quickly. They do not happen that quickly in Washington. So this should not be a surprise to any of us. Fox News did reach out, by the way, to several school districts in Virginia, including Loudoun County, and officials from all of them denied teaching elements of critical race theory despite proof in the form of memos and emails that they actually do. So, Ian, you know, you actually shared with us proof in writing. It shows the former Loudoun County school superintendent explicitly saying the district does indeed teach aspects of CRT. You also obtained an invoice that shows the district paid thousands of dollars to an organization to instruct teachers about CRT. How is it that there's this much evidence and they actually have the gall to deny it?
Yeah, well, there's even more evidence than that. I mean, look, in 2019, they hired a company called the Equity Collaborative. And the Equity Collaborative, one of their core pillars is implementing critical race theory in education. They paid him $500,000 in 2019. They kept him on contract for $20,000 in 2021. So to hear that, you know, the Loudoun County school system continue to gaslight and lie to parents. I mean, just the other day at a school board meeting, the superintendent made something up about why we couldn't use bathrooms. They are completely unsavvy. They are dishonest. Parents are not stupid. They've done their homework. They've talked to their children. They've talked to other parents. They've sent Freedom of Information Act requests. They have the receipts. And the fact that we have public officials, elected officials, and school superintendents flat out lying to the public is why there's such a breach of trust in the school system.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, honestly, and I thank the pandemic, in fact, for parents like myself to actually know what's going on in the classroom, because for 3 months, while I was pulling my hair out and drinking way too much wine, I also was able to get an inside look at what was going on in the classroom, or more importantly, what was not being taught in the classroom, which was quite disturbing. I also want to bring this up, that there's a new study that finds that the media's coverage of critical race theory to have been misleading, slanted, and dismissive. Quote, just 5 of the 91 news accounts mentioned race-based affinity groups. Fewer than 12 mentioned the rejection of color blindness, and barely half of the articles mentioned that CRT-inspired ideology contends that the U.S. is a fundamentally racist country. What do you say to that?
Well, you know, it's been interesting to watch the message progression from the media. One thing that's completely absent is anybody defending critical race theory, at least in the mainstream. What they'll say is, well, this is a college-level course. It's not being taught. But, of course, it's not being taught like a subject, and meritocracy is not being taught like a subject either. But they're applied in how we teach our students. They're applied in how we train our teachers to teach our students. And it's a viewpoint to look at America, its institutions, its culture, cultures, its traditions, its language as perpetuating systemic racism. There's a big difference between teaching accurate history with all the good, bad, and ugly and implementing critical race theory in how you teach students.
All right. Ian Pryor, thank you very much. We appreciate your expertise and fascinating the emails that you discovered. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.